All right, so today I wanted to make a brief video on this whole Elon Musk Bitcoin thing. I'm gonna keep it pretty brief because it's pretty easy to explain, and I think it's very obvious what's going on here. And that the first thing I would acknowledge is that this will not be the last time something like this happens. Now, what is the reality of this whole situation, right? I mean, let's just from World Alternative Media here saying Elon is dumping Bitcoin to buy more and then come out with some dumb carbon neutral solution which will send Bitcoin and his net worth sailing. I think that, I've definitely lost a lot of, not a lot, but at least a decent amount, well, maybe a lot to be honest, but at least a decent amount of respect for Elon Musk over the last 6 months or so. I mean, it gained a little bit, now lost quite a bit of it over the recent times. Number one in this whole pumping of Dogecoin, again, for anyone who isn't already aware, Dogecoin is a classic pump and dump scheme. Doesn't mean you can't make a lot of money off it. Again, people say, oh, it's a scam, it's a pump and dump, but I made a lot of money. Obviously, that's a lot of people are doing that. But a lot of people are going to be left holding the bag, and you don't want to be that person, right? I mean, we've seen Doge reach a new all-time high recently. It came crashing down. Now it's back up a little, but again, 10 years from now, no way in hell. I would give it a 1% chance maybe that Doge is as high in the coin market cap rankings as it is right now. Again, maybe 1% chance at best. So when it comes to Doge, you can definitely make a lot of money off these kind of coins, but they're pump and dumps, which means you want to be in when it's pumping, but not when it's dumping, right? So that's a word of warning that you want to be really concerned about that. And I think it's obvious that Elon, I mean, I would think it is that he's just joking when it comes to Dogecoin, but there's a lot of people that think he's serious, and he may even be serious for all we know. Who knows? But when it comes to Bitcoin, again, I don't believe a word he says, and I don't know why anyone believes a word he says because there's no way that they weren't aware of how Bitcoin works when they announced, what was it, like 2 months ago, 2.5, I think it was it February? I don't remember when it was, but the point remains there's no way they weren't aware of how Bitcoin works when they announced you can buy a car with Bitcoin. Like, there's no way. So there's clearly something else going on here. Um, and I think that it's a way of him to make money, probably, or at the very least Tesla. Because here's the thing, Tesla made more money off Bitcoin than it's made selling cars for the entirety of its existence, right? And that's a crazy number too. I bet you most people probably don't, even a lot of people in the Bitcoin space probably don't even know that. So that's something that's something of concern, I would say. Um, and like I said, what he's going to do, I don't know. I really don't know. A whole carbon neutral thing, I think, will be a good thing. Or another thing people don't know about Bitcoin, and this is why the whole Bitcoin's bad for the environment thing is a complete lie, is that a lot of the Bitcoin that is mined on 100% renewable powered places, basically, or it's powered by renewable energy, or quote unquote renewable energy, whatever you want to call it. So people who think Bitcoin's bad for the environment, again, they don't know what they're talking about. Number one, because it isn't. Even if it wasn't using renewable energy, it still wouldn't be. But it is using renewable energy. So even from their perspective, they have no reason to argue that it is. Number two, um, the amount of energy that's required to prop up the dollar absolutely pales in comparison. It's like, comparing Mike Tyson to a 4-year-old girl, right? Like it's not even in the same universe. So again, people who make that argument, that they're wrong for multiple reasons. Um, but I think this is just another way of them. Chances are they're buying the dip right now, right as we're speaking. They're probably buying the dip. Eventually they announce, yeah, we're going to allow you guys to do it again. Maybe another way they could do it is them say, yeah, we're only going to buy Bitcoin um, that's been mined using renewable energy, which is the majority of Bitcoin, I think, which wouldn't really matter all that much, but that could be another way they do it. But I think it's obvious this is just another way of making money. I mean, it's by far the most likely scenario. Again, Occam's razor, right? Most likely scenario is usually the correct one. Again, like, because to make the argument that they're not accepting Bitcoin because it's bad for the environment, again, number one, it's a lie. And number two, even if you believe that, you have to believe that they didn't even understand how Bitcoin worked when they put $1.5 billion into it. Like, who invests $1.5 billion into something without even knowing how it works? Like, imagine me investing $1.5 billion into a company and not even knowing what the company does. Like, you'd be insane, right? So again, I don't believe that for a second, right? I don't believe it for a second. I don't know why anyone would. And the other thing I would point out too is that this has presented a very good buying opportunity. Personally, again, I'm no expert. Do your own due diligence. Like I say, always very important not to listen to anyone, no matter how smart you think they are. But personally, I think it's a very good buying opportunity. So anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Like I said, yeah. Check out those links below. Follow me on those other platforms. Again, want to donate, you can do that as well. Whatever support I could get would be very much appreciated. So, like I say, check out all those links and stay tuned for more.